It's me, Renee. I'm back. Today is the third day of Wida. So yeah, I'm back. And so far, I've been posting every day, so that's cool. But I mean, 2 days in the month, it's not that difficult. But yeah. So today, I have a video for you about series because the beginning of April, the 2nd till the 15th is sequelathon, or sorry, continuathon, where you continue series. So I decided to do a video now with all the series that I have finished, so you know that these ones I won't be reading. There's some caveats. And yeah, I've done a video like this 2 years ago, 1 year ago, before anyway. But this time I actually kind of went to and kind of thought, okay, you know what? I'm gonna think about all the series. So I've written them all down. I've ended up getting 3 pages. So I think actually there's around 50 of them, really. Yeah, I think there are, really. I think there are. I mean, I suppose when you think about it, I've been a book reader, book lover my whole life, and with all the books I've published every year, a lot of them are series. Though I mean, there are some series that started in my early life that I haven't finished because I kind of grew out of them. So yeah, this list is not even all the series I've touched, it's all the series I've finished. Let's get to first caveats. There was some caveats. First caveat, I was kind of thinking while making this list, how would you define series? I mean, I suppose I'm not quite sure what the definition is, but like, I think the idea is a series is a story told over several books. And then you have like a companion series, a series or not, because it's in the same world, but you don't have to read them in order. But then again, like, I would say like at least, I would say it's a bit different really, because like, for example, Graceling, the series, that series, it started just like having one book and then decided to write more in the series in the world. And the first 3 books, I would say, are more or less companion books. You don't need to read them in order, or you don't need to read them. You don't need to read all of them. Though last year, 2 years ago, there came a 4th book, Winterkeep, which that one I would say, well, again, I suppose you can read that one, only that one. Though I would say that one kind of is pretty much, or it's kind of much more tied to the 3rd book than the other books are. And also, I would say that okay, so the first book in that series again is Graceling, and that takes place. I was like, just kind of illustrate. It takes place here in the kind of sort of time, and then the second book takes place before Graceling, but it's in the same universe but a different location, and some similar characters, though they're not very intermingling. They're like more close, but not very closely tied together. Then the 3rd book is set after Graceling, Bitter Blue. It has characters from Graceling and Fire, the 1st and 2nd book. But also it's set, I would say like that one I would say is kind of the book you kind of have to read at least Graceling to understand. Well, not to understand, but to get the most out of. So yeah, with the Graceling series, I'm kind of like, it is companion books, but at the same time, it's prudent to read them in order. So is it a series? Not. But anyway, just a little babbling because I haven't included Graceling on this list because you have Winterkeep and then I have read Winterkeep, but this fall we're getting Sea Fire, Sea Sprite, Sea Sparrow. So yeah, it's not finished yet. But yeah, like kind of like when you have stuff like that where there's things that they're not a separate series, but they're not very linked. I mean, is that a series or is it a companion series? Maybe you should have a 3rd term like series companion or linked companions. I don't know. Like, okay, so what was I kind of thinking of? Okay, as I said, I didn't include racing because it's still ongoing. But another example is the Splinter Club by Holy Born. It's a set of 3 books, so trilogy. where they're all set around the same, around the same, around the same friends gang. So it's set around a gang of friends or 3 friends, and then yeah, each book is set around a different character. So I suppose maybe a series, you have to have the same protagonist, while a companion you can have a different protagonist. Anyway, yeah, Spencer Club, you have different protagonists, but you see, like, each character is, I would say, pretty much in all the books. So I would say it's not bad if you don't read all the books, but I mean, you get a lot more out of it if you read them all in yeah, in the correct order, really. But then again, then you have, I would say maybe this is kind of slightly because it's a YA series. But then again, you have some romance adult books where they're set around the same environment. It's sisters, like the Brown sisters, or it's a friend group, like the romance book club, where you have characters from other books, but they are standalone. Like it's a romance, so you don't really need to read the other books, but you get like small Easter eggs. I would say those are kind of much more companions, at least in my head. But yeah, okay. Enough of a little caveat talking. Um oh yeah, and that, yeah, as I said, that was actually the first caveat. Second caveat, actually a few of these series I'm talking about that kind of they started as a series and then they got expanded to like several series in one universe. So one of them I have read 2 of, I haven't read the third. So and like the universe is called the same name. You'll understand when I get to it. But yeah, and these are all kind of things that I think about when I make videos like this, or when I think like, how do you count series? And yeah. Anyway, let's start. Actually, I have some books here I kind of want to show off, but I don't have all of them because it's a long list. I want to show off some books because I want to, because I kind of want to show them off extra. And yeah. Let's start. So first we have Vampire Academy, which love, one of my favorite series ever. I got some great friends from it, and it's gotten me through many hard times. And yeah, so Vampire Academy, it consists of 6 books. Vampire Academy, Frostbite, uh, no, now I'm blacking out. Shadow Kissed, and then you have Blood Promise, Spiritbound, and not Bloodlines. Last Sacrifice. And then you have the spin-off series of that one called Bloodlines, which I would say that one you kind of have to read the first series first because, well, you don't have to, but it's very much linked to VA, Vampire Academy, and it's set afterwards. So like if you read BL first, you'll be spoiled for big events in VA. So I suppose you can read them out of order, but it's not. I wouldn't really say it's recommended. At least not in my mind. But yeah, Bloodlines is also consists of 6 books. Yes, usually I'm kind of wing it, but you know what? I'm not gonna give all titles on all the series because then this video will be an eternity long. So I'm just gonna move on. Then we have Hexel by Rachel Hawkins. Oh yeah, Vampire Academy. It's by Richelle Mead. You got that movie around 10 years ago. Now we're getting a new TV series. So yeah, if you're thinking what is Vampire Academy, that's the thing. Then we have Hexel by Rachel Hawkins. It's a trilogy, 3 books. And it was also kind of meant to kind of maybe have a spin-off series. And then in the end, it just kind of ended up having a spin-off book, which kind of wanted more, but publishing, I mean, it just kind of, yeah. And now we have the Loyal League by Words Alyssa Cole. Loyal League is her words again. It is her historical romance slash spy series set during the Civil War in the United States. I kind of have to think of the name for Civil, but yeah, Civil War. Yeah, that's a trilogy. Uh, Again, it's a companion trilogy, so it's kind of like I wouldn't say it crosses over that much either, but I'm counting it. Then we have Wilson and Wong by Robin Stevens, which is I kind of often think of it as a middle grade, though you can be like young adult to read it. But yeah, it starts with them being 12, so it's a middle grade series. I'm gonna say it. With mystery sets in 1930s with kids solving mysteries. It's a book series of 6 books and some short stories. And also here, another caveat. There's coming a second series in same universe, but it's a second series in same universe, but this series is closed, it's ended, so yeah. Okay, I'm just gonna, yeah. Then we have Parcel Potatoes by Gail Carriger, a series of 5 books, amazing universe and series, so good. That's her first series, and then we have Finishing School, which is set in the same universe, but it's set before Parcel Protectorate. And then you have Custard Protocol, which is set after. And then you also have some small novella series that she has, which is, for example, Clare and Courtship, which I've read all of. And you have Supernatural Society, and then you also have the one with the finishing schools girls at adult age. I've read most of these books, but as one book I haven't read in this last series, so yeah, I forgot to mention it. But yeah, so right now we're already at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 series. Sorry, 9 series. So yeah, I love books series. Then we have Geek Girl by Holy Smale, amazing series. Recently revealed that Harriet's I was about to say smile. Harriet Manners has autism, which yeah, so cool, works so well, and yeah, amazing series. And then we have Invisible Library by Genevieve Cogman. Consists of 9 books. It is an adult steampunk series, which has books at its center, and yeah, it's very good. So the last book, kind of unnecessary and confusing in a weird, I would say. But yeah, moving on. And then we have The Mediator by Meg Cabot, which is on my all-time oldest favorites. I found it when I was 13, and I just love it so much. It was published in the early 2000s, so some of it is kind of a bit outdated when you reread it now, but still, I love it. It's just so amazing. And it's being adapted to Netflix movies. I'm so excited. Hopefully, we'll get some news on that soon. Yeah, I know I said I'm going to try to keep things short, but sometimes I have to go. Then we have Princess Diaries by Meg Cabot, also by Meg Cabot. The Princess Diaries, I read them after I saw the movie, but honestly, I never saw the movie that much, really. I think I've seen it once or twice, and then I read the books after a friend of mine said, like, they're good. I read them, I enjoyed them, but I always enjoyed Mediator more. But I really like the Princess Diaries, but I don't love them. So, yeah. And then we have Shadowhunters by Cassandra Clare. I've read the Infernal Devices, and I read the first Shadowhunters series with the Clare and all those. And yeah, I also read the series set in LA. The Dark Artifacts. So the ones I haven't read is the latest one, which is set around Will's kids. Want to read those, but yeah, I've read 3 out of 4. So yeah, 3 series there. So now we're at like 16, I think. Yeah, I'm counting wrong there, but yeah, I can double count afterwards. Then we have PGO, the Percy Jackson series. I love it. I started reading this when I was 19, but it's still one of my favorite series ever. Haven't reread it in a while, but want to do that. And then also we have Heroes of Olympus, with set in the same universe, but with Roman mythology. And then we have Trials of Apollo, which is the latest one, which is also very good. And that's Greek mythology. And then you have the Carter Chronicles, which the Kane Chronicles, which is a trilogy with the Egyptian mythology, which I love as well. And then we have, now it's time for show and tell. And then we have Dreaming Anastasia, this trilogy, which is a series. It's a retelling of Anastasia Romanoff. It has time travel. It has as I said, retelling aspects to it, and it has the best love interest. He's like the love interest. He's not arrogant or know-it-all. He's shy, which you rarely see in YA protagonist. In YA love interest, and I love him so much. And get this series. You can probably get it online, like used. I'm thinking it might be like not a bit hard to find in stores, but used you can probably find it, and it's amazing. It's a trilogy, but yeah. And then we have, as always, the Raven Rings. Have to talk about whenever the series talking. Yeah, and this now at this point in time, you can get this whole series in English because the third book, this one was this is Norwegian version, but yeah, the third book, which has this cover, I think it's more or less the same cover, got released last week in the United States. And if you, for some reason, don't read English, or if you, for some other country, and watch me, this series is already out in Spanish, Italian, Polish, Russian, Swedish, Danish, Turkish. I wanna say Israeli. Well, it's not Israeli. It's not a language, but I think it's out in Israeli country, Israeli bookstores. So yes, out in a lot of countries. You know what? I'm gonna check it out and mention it in the description. But yeah, a lot of countries has this series. So honestly, there's no excuse. No excuse. It's just an amazing, amazing series. People need to read it. And then we have the Air Affair, or the second book in this. What's the word again? What's the first book called? The first book is called The Royal We. So you have the Royal We and the Air Affair. So it's a duology. So yeah, and this one got all the hype a few years ago. It was supposed to become a movie, but it never made it to a movie. Hopefully, it'll still happen. I mean, movie Hollywood takes time sometimes, but yeah, it's a very good book. And yeah, and this book also just had all the plot twists. It's like what? The last few chapters in this book is like what? So yeah, prepare for the plot twists. And then we have the girl called a girl called Shameless, another duology. Both these are duologies, just so you know. This is the second one. The first being the exact opposite of OK. Both of those being set around in the US, while it's written by a English comedian. But I think it works well. I can't be sure, but it's funny. It's all about slut shaming in the US. So it's a YA feminist book, and just so good. Check it out. Then we have the Shambling Guides to New York City. This was once upon a time supposed to be a long series, but it wasn't sold a lot of, so it's a duology. There's 2 books. Yeah, and that's it. The author is still writing books, but yeah, the series just can't stop at 2 books. So I thought maybe if there's enough interest, she'll self-publish. So maybe that could happen. I don't know, but yeah, I still love this first book and series. The first one's set in New York. The second one is set in New Orleans. I suppose maybe the third one would be set in New England. No, probably not. Well, I don't know what she had planned. Maybe there's kind of like a thing for her. No, probably not. But yeah, it's kind of like Buffy for adults. It's been described. I would say, yeah, kind of true. Though Buffy itself can be seen as for adults. You know, it's all about urban fantasy set in urban environments, New York, and yeah, very good. And then we have Timekeeper by Tara Sim. This is a trilogy. It's historical trilogy with time. I would say this time travel ish. Well, there's time travel elements here and there, but I would say it's more magic, time magic. Like time can stop at some parts. And then there's also a gay protagonist, gay love story, and there's also some uh, gods involved. And yeah, it's very good. Though honestly, the third book is not that good. The second book is good. They made to one book, but still, check it out. Very good. And maybe other people love the third book much more than me. Could be. And then we have Hexed by Michelle Chris. So this is another duology. The first one is Hexed, second one is Aaand. And yeah, this is the YA witch book. It's very good, but honestly, I would say read this book in the middle of the day if you're scared like me, because like I think it's a prologue or the first chapter has an amazingly scary scene. So yeah, just maybe don't read it in the middle of the night. It's my advice. And then we have Pivot Points by Casey West, which is Pivot Points, and then you have the sequel, which yeah, good second. So this is another one where I would say maybe it's a companion book, but it's like it's pretty like it's a sequel companion-ish, but you can't read just this one. You can't just do that. And honestly, I think you should, because the sequel is not that good. Kind of weird. But still, but you can read them both, and maybe yeah. This one, it's kind of like X-Men, but for YA readers, I would say, kind of an X-Men-ish universe, and yeah, it's a very cool universe. So check it off, check it off, check it out, check it off, check it out if you're interested for something like that. So that's all the books that I had to show off at this point in time. And then yeah, so now we're up to what, 20 reads, 22, I think so, 20 series, probably around that. I'm double checking it afterwards. Then we have Ruby Red by Kirsten Gear, which is that time travel series that came out around 10 years ago. Yeah, actually came out around 2010, like around that time. It was all over BookTube for a while. It was that series with that beautiful dresses and that girl Gwen going for traveling around for time with her frenemy and stuff happening. And yeah, it's very nice. Very nice. I reread it 2 or 3 years ago. I still liked it, but I would say it's kind of leaning towards younger YA, but it's still a good read. It's not a bad read. It's just probably best to read it when you're young. I wouldn't say pick it up for the first time when you're an adult. Though I suppose I can't say what you should and shouldn't read. Can't do that. And maybe you're in the mood for something younger YA towards leaning. Maybe you are. And yeah, that's up to you. Anyway, then we have Wanderlust by can't remember the author, Michelle Dunst, something like that. That's another time travel series. You notice after a while, there's a lot of time travel series on this list. Well, a lot, yeah, quite a few. Yeah, and then we have The Brown Sisters by Talia Hebridge. Yeah, I included it, even though I thought like should I include it or not. I have. So if you disagree with me, you should just be mad. But yeah. And then we have I missed a book here. Yeah, Lunar Chronicles by Mr. Mauricio Mayo. I really liked it, but I think the fourth book is way too long and kind of unnecessary. So yeah. And then we have there a series of unfortunate events by Lemony Snickets. Me, as a lot of other people my age, and probably people older than me also, I think, younger than me also, read this series when I was in middle school, so I was like 13, 14, 11. I mean, it's a long series, so I read it. Yeah, I read it from like, I think I finished it, yeah, when I was 13, 14. And yeah, so I read this whole original series. I haven't read the spin-off series of this, but I read the original series. I like the original movie, but yeah, the the TV series was much better. And yeah, I enjoyed it. And yeah, oh, forgot. There's also that series is a duology by Garrett P. Jones, the Inheritance duology. It's about these two twins, two twins who are always kind of trying to kill each other, kind of macabre. I've got to think about it because it kind of has this a series of unfortunate events vibes to them. But yeah, I read that one as well. That one I read more recently, and that one very, very, very much enjoyed. It's just, yeah, delightful, really. Though it's macabre, but it's, yeah, quite delightful. I would say maybe I enjoyed it more than Unfortunate Events. Anyway, yeah. And then we have Girl of Fire and, I knew I wrote it wrong here. Girl of Fire and Thorns by Ray Carton. Love that one. And that's also actually quite weird thing because it's one of, actually, I think at least a few, um, a few high fantasy series that I've read. I think most of the high fantasy books I've read are either companion series or standalones. So this one is quite different because it is a series. With normal series, you have to read them in order. It's nothing companion in about them. I suppose you can read just the one book because it is concluded, but at the same time, you kind of want to read more. So yeah. Then you have Montague Siblings by Mackenzie Lee. There's been some controversy around her lately, so want to talk more about that. And then you have Anne and the French Kiss, that trilogy. People loved it when it came out, but lately it's kind of been more like it, it's kind of glorifies cheating, and I suppose yeah, kind of does here and there. I've been thinking about rereading it, haven't done so far, so yeah. Then we have Vegan Virgin Valentine by someone. It's a duology, and yeah, that one's very good and enjoyable, contemporary YA duology. Then we have Reluctant Royals by Alyssa Cole, another Alyssa Cole series. I read, yeah, a lot of those series, not all of them. I haven't read her sci-fi yet, want to, but I haven't read yet. But yeah, Reluctant Royals is the one with, starts with A Princess in Fury, and then you have A Prince on Paper, and the third one, which I'm like Aaand, but yeah. And then we have Jessica Darling series. It's a YA contemporary series that came out between like 2005 and 2008, I think. I didn't find it before like 2011 or something, but I really enjoyed it. But it's also kind of one of those interesting series because it starts with her in high school, but it's 5 books in the series, but it ends with her the first or second year after she finished college. So I would still say it's YA because like it talks about sex and stuff at the end, but it's not like many sex. Like in my head, I think kind of you can say a book is YA if it's heavily filled with lots of sex scenes and lots of violence and lots of swearing. I mean, you can have a little of that, but not a lot. So yeah, Jessica Darling, I would still say it's a YA series in my mind, anyway. Maybe it's a crossover ages series. I'm not sure how to define it, but yeah, that's how it is in my head. And it's not like this video is just YA series. I'm finished, so yeah. Now we have Stockholm Homes by Colleen Gleason. Don't have the books right here at the moment, but yeah, they're amazing. I would say they're also kind of like middle range slash YA. What are they? I'm not quite sure. But the steampunk series, 5 books set in the late 1800s, and they're just amazing, amazing. Then we have Shut Up and Bone. Yeah, as well. Did I say Shut Up and Bone? Sorry, Shadow and Bone by Lee Bardugo. Also read the Six of Crows duology. I have not finished the King of Scars duology yet, so can't mention that one. But yeah, it's two more there. Then we have Tommy and Tuppence by Agatha Christie. There's 4 books. Read them all. Not 98% sure I have. Yeah, I'm just counting it. Then we have the Dark Days Club. It's a steampunk YA series, and it's kind of described as Buffy in historical setting, which I said it would say it's quite true, really. And yeah, very good. And then we have My Lady Janie's. It's a series trilogy where we have my Plain Jane, my Lady Jane, my Cool Jane. What's the last one called? Yeah, my Calamity Jane. I think it's just called my Calamity Jane. Anyway, that series. Then we have Spinster Club, which I mentioned before. Did I count it before? Yeah, I'm mentioning it again by Holyborn. It's one where we talk like it's a series, it's not a series, Command, it's not a series, Command, and yeah. Then we have the Iron Druid series by Kevin Hearn. That one has, I think it's 9 books. Yeah, 9 books. And yeah, it actually has spin-off series at the moment, but I haven't read that one. But yeah, and that is all. So I'm just gonna double check now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, I've like United Scout actually 61 series. So yeah, quite a lot. But yeah, I mean, a lot of the books in the world are series, not that weird, but yeah. So that's kind of how it is at this moment. And yeah, I'm probably gonna do. I think I'm gonna do a video about series I wanted to like working on. So like these are all the series I finished. But yeah, I have some series that I have DNF'd, and then I have some series that I'm working on, be it that they aren't finished or that they are finished but I just haven't finished them. So I'm doing another series on the series that I want to finish. And yeah, and also a little, yeah, gonna give a little tidbit. So I'm reading at the moment, I'm reading this one, Portron, which is a Norwegian book. It's the third in the series. First, I thought it was going to be a trilogy, but then I found out there's a fourth book coming out, and a fifth book. The fourth book is coming out in a few weeks. Fifth book is coming in summer, so that's cool. This one kind of is a bit embarrassing, but kind of fun in a way because, okay, so I picked up this series because it was hyped in Norway, and I thought, kind of want to check it out. I mean, yeah, I read mostly in English, but I kind of want to check out Norwegian book now and then as well. So I read the first 2. I got them both from the library. That's the first and second. And I enjoy them both. I can't say I love them. I don't think I'll buy them because I don't love them that much, but I'll probably keep reading them because they're interesting. And also, kind of, I feel like I should read them because I'm a bookseller and I should know some Norwegian breeds. I should read them myself. But I suppose also shouldn't. I mean, I don't have to. I suppose I could just Wikipedia them. But at the same time, it's not like they're awful. They're just kind of enjoyable enough. So I think like I'm probably gonna read them as they continue to come to like a little really guilty pleasure because yeah, I mean they're not amazing, but they give me slight pleasure, slight pleasure. And yeah, also the first book in this universe is coming to Netflix. I'm pretty sure it's coming this year because I know it's already been filmed, and I think often when something is filmed on Netflix, probably often it comes out the year after, though some exceptions. But anyway, it's coming to Netflix, which yeah, quite fun. A whole world can see a Norwegian movie around this book series, not this book, this series. I don't think it's out in other languages yet. It might probably be out in Swedish and Danish, but I have Googled, haven't really found out yet. But it might be coming out after a while because Netflix, maybe? I mean, that will be cool if it kind of becomes huge international as well. I mean, it's been described as kind of book form but Scum. So if you know Scum, that came out like actually around 10 years ago. It was this Norwegian TV series where it was set around teens and it had rape culture and had all these themes in it, and people loved it so much. It was everywhere for some time. And this is kind of that, just kind of actually with royals, because it's set around a fictitious royal family, but also around their friends in school. And yeah, yeah. So that's the book I started yesterday. So that's kind of my first sequel read that I've started in this continuathon. And yeah, and yeah, if you have any thoughts on any of these books series, if you want to tell me how many series you finished, you can do that. And I'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye!